So I've been looking at all of the post-CES news, and it really seems like there are two things that everybody is absolutely losing their mind about. The first thing is Hisense with their RGB Trichroma, and LG with their new 4-stack Tandem, which they've gone into more detail on and given us a little video demonstration. At this point, I just want to say something that maybe is a bit obvious, but probably not for some people. What they're trying to do is create a true RGB display. We already have that, and more options are great and will diversify the market, right? However, I don't think that the way that they're trying to do it makes sense because, as I just said, right, we already have true RGB with Quantum.OLED. It's cheaper than like what Hisense is doing, like where they're kind of exclusively giving that true RGB technology to the richest people that can afford over 116-inch TVs. And LG with people who have, I would say, what do you say, disposable income of upwards of over $3,000 a month. They're pretty decent credit limits. That ain't everybody, right? It's tone deaf, right? It's like we want to try to get closer to true RGB, but we want you to pay a premium for it, and a really big one. Meanwhile, you could literally for like $1,200 to $1,400, $1,500, literally get true RGB with beautiful color that would beat everything that they're putting out right now. I'll say it. Nobody's going to say it. Like, you can work as hard as you can with Hisense with their like new Trichroma technology. It's not going to beat OLED. It's not self-emissive. And the color throw is not going to beat OLED either. Because again, when you have that type of granularity from pixel level illumination, things get tighter, things illuminate better. Again, fine highlights, things like that, which means that you have a more pure, more realistic color volume. I would argue, as much as I hate Samsung's matte finish screen, the S95F is a more, I would say, desirable and even more of a big deal because this year they've been able to raise the brightness, keep the efficiency, and that's insane because you got like an extra 1,000 nits over last year. Like, that's more of a desirable outcome if you're going to pay more money, you know? Because A, it's true RGB, you do have quantum dots, and it's 4,000 nits. I mean, I don't know what we're doing. I have to say, like, I will say this. I don't agree with the brightness push. Everything doesn't have to be 4,000 or 5,000 nits. I think our TVs are good where they are. You want them brighter? Okay, fine, but we really need to get back to tech. And I remember, like, 2013 being a great year for that. You know, 2015, 2016, and then 2018. But, like, after that, like, 2019 hit, and they've all just lost their minds. And they just collectively looked around the room and said, wait a minute, we're going really hard as far as innovation. Yeah, I know. We don't have to do that anymore. Oh, we don't? No. They'll buy it every year anyway. Watch. Just try it. Well, okay, I'll make a crappy TV. The Sony X950G came out with a fuck ton of blooming. The 900F came out with a fuck ton of blooming. People bought and defended it. Then they were like, oh, wait a minute, this actually works? We don't have to do 900E quality? We don't have to do Z9D quality? We could have our next Z9 series television have blooming and be trash? Oh, and they'll buy it and defend us. LG comes out with the same picture quality year after year, and it gets all the awards, like adulation and everything from fans, and it gets to a point where it's like, dude, what are we doing? What really are we doing? And the message we're sending these people. Like, I get like the lobbyists, and I get like the people who run the journalism mill, but what are you doing? Like, the everyday person that literally busts their fucking ass. Like, you're there with your fucking kids, putting in the fucking time on your job, working hard, between paying for their shit, paying for your shit, and finally getting a little bit for yourself, and you're going to defend a company that, like, literally looked at you and your efforts and said, I can give you less, and you're still going to pay for it. And you're rewarding this, and you're defending this, and I don't know why. Like, see, I might be one of the bigger YouTubers, but I've never lost sight of one thing: community and common sense, that I'm a part of the community. And people get these millions of followers and views, and they check out. They're like, oh, I'm rich, I'm famous, I'm a celebrity. Bye, little people. What are you doing? Like, I have yet to hear a real ass fucking, like, question panel on any of these CES, which I think next year it'll be my time to go. Because I've been trying to be patient, right? And it's not really working. And I think they need me specifically to ask these questions because everyday people are not getting treated fairly. We just aren't. Like, there's no one sitting here and asking, what are you doing to push color to the next level past 10-bit? What are we working on? What are we doing to address the concerns of the community as far as the dropout signals on the One Connect box that people have reported? Or Sony with these limiting factors like only 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, or you get the idea. Like, what are you doing to push us to the future? And every time, I kid you not, I try to remotely ask questions like this, it's always, oh, you're just a hater. I've already seen it in my comments. I haven't even touched it. I haven't even reviewed it. And I'm already hearing, the G5 is the best. You're just a freaking hater. The defense has already started. They can do no wrong. You can never tell anyone in this consumerism market, like, hey, my guy, there's a better level and it's over here and it's already out. Like, why would I pay for 4-stack tandem, 4,000 nits? Impressive, great, wonderful. It's WOLED. The brighter it gets, the worse the colors are going to get. Yes, they found a way to extend it a little bit, but it's a WOLED. There's a reason why Samsung, for their 4,000 nits, is using quantum dots and what that does differently. And it's that education that I'm not seeing being talked about. And they charge about the same price as the real shit, which is what Samsung's doing. The true RGB experience. Like, that's what it is. And I get really frustrated because I don't really like Samsung anymore. If we haven't peeled that Band-Aid off, let's just right off, okay? I don't like Samsung. But they are the only ones that understand this. What they are offering isn't inherently expensive to most people of a certain income bracket, like the S90D, for example. A bread and butter TV you can pick up right now. Excellent colors. S90C, excellent colors, true RGB. And you're not breaking the bank to do that. And then you get these companies that should know that, like LG, and they've been in the OLED market way before Samsung. They should know this, right? People want quality, and they want the cutting edge, and they want the price. Hisense, they should definitely get it. They are a budget brand trying to push into the high-end market, and I think they are losing sight of what's important. And that's why our market is stagnant. Samsung really is, honestly, the only one with a real true RGB set that most people will ever be able to obtain. And that is where I go, here we go again. Wait till CES, maybe they'll come out with more options then. And all we can do now is look at TCL and hope that they deliver with what they have to offer, because the other guys are quite literally looking at the richest people and saying, we value you more than literally the majority of our consumer base. I've never seen this. And the thing that blows my mind with this, which is why I'm going almost 8 minutes, is the consumer base then, in response to seeing them cater to the rich, all these like pageantry, like very fake, very like veneered teeth, like fucking reporters and YouTubers, all fake guys. They worship it, idolize it, and then they go home with like some cheap shit, and they're grateful. We used to like fucking complain, the consumer's always right. We want our best for our money, you know. We would fight. We would fight. And we don't anymore. We just sit and take it. And I'm sitting here watching more videos promote Tandem and how amazing it is. And look, maybe it is a wonderful improvement over what LG has done in the past. I will test it fairly. But can we be real in the room and say, even if it's the best thing LG has ever done, the lack of quantum dots is holding LG back. They are stalling for time for clearly whatever it is that they're actually working on. It is very evident because all they're doing is what I said in my predictions video. Everything needs to be brighter. Everything is AI. What else did LG really offer you? Like a 4-stack tandem that doesn't really do shit about the color problem. Like, it's limited. I mean, the colors expand a bit over what they did, but not where we are today, if that makes sense. Like, where we are today, for less money, like, I promise you, people are going to be pissed when I do it. I'm going to compare the S90D from last year to the LG G5, and I'm going to show you the colors, and everybody's going to be like, oh, you're full of shit, there's no way, you're doctoring the footage, you're making it look that way on purpose, like, look, I'm 9 minutes and whatever, into this video, whatever, okay? Trust me, it will happen. It happens every year, and this year will probably be no different. And I get called all these crazy names. Oh, you're a quack, you're a kook. Oh, don't listen to that quantum guy. He's always got crazy dramatic takes. But this is the realest one on the internet. Facts, this is the realest one. Like, you can buy a cheaper quantum dot OLED from years prior. You can even buy an A95K, an A95L. It'd be cheaper than the full price of the G5, and it would look better. It would look better. I could guarantee it. I haven't even seen it, and I can guarantee it because I know the technology. WOLED is not... They bet all their eggs in that basket on that one dead horse. It's a dead horse. It can only go so far. And I get so annoyed because I'm watching the titles come up in my feed of all my fellow AV YouTubers. It's Tandem, Tandem, Tandem. And I'm like, okay, but where are we applying the pressure for them to stop doing WOLED? Even Samsung with their bullshit where they're going WOLED. They're full of shit. You know, and believe me, I could go on forever ragging and clowning on Samsung. They were the ones talking about, oh, Samsung is free of burn-in issues and blah, blah, blah back in 2017, and then they go with OLED. And then they were talking about, you know, how beautiful their colors are and all that stuff. And then they have quantum dots, and then they have WOLEDs mixed in. It's not perfect. The market is not perfect, and that's my point. When do we demand Samsung to be more transparent with what they're selling and literally, like, get them to fucking put it on paper, because at this point they're just selling us whatever the fuck they want. And then we go to the other brands and say, look, we want your technology. We love what you do with Motion LG. We love what you do with Color Hisense. We want you guys to innovate, but we want you to do it on that level that exists today. When do we have that conversation? And I'm genuinely asking because I don't know. Maybe I've missed the conversation. Maybe they're going on somewhere else. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you had this conversation? And have you had anything similar to what I'm describing, to where when you try to talk to anybody in the AV community, it just turns into a mudslinging contest and no one gets heard? Because that's what it feels like for me personally. Thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Looking forward to hearing from you down below. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.